Alright, so I know it's been 2 weeks, maybe a little bit longer. Here's another video though, something I've been working on. It's a pair of pants inspired by crust punk, kind of 80s punk, whatever you want to call it. It took me about 60 hours, maybe a little bit less, over a course of 9 to 10 days. They're crazy. I just wanted to show y'all them and what they're looking like. Don't mind the fat ass pimple on my nose. I know I'm a fucking Rudolph right now. Don't worry about it. Just disregard. Anyways, pants we're gonna get into, they're on a pair of Levi's 510s. They're $29.32. Just in case you're interested in buying them or whatever, hit me up for them. I'll probably think about making a second pair in a different color soon, coming up, but for now I think I'm gonna take a little break with this the whole pants thing and just show y'all what we whipped up. So let me go ahead and show you what we got going on, and let me know what you guys think. Man, here we have the pair of pants I've been talking about, or pair of jeans, whatever you want to say. So this is a pair of Levi's 510s, as I was mentioning earlier, and as you can see, it is just fully hand sewn with patches all the way up and down the front and back of both legs. So we'll go ahead and flip them around real quick, and there you can see the back is also totally patched up. And I just wanted to show you guys and talk about kind of why they took so long, what I did to start, and then my process, and then finally what it was like finishing them and what the finished product was. So I'm gonna go ahead and see you guys back in my camera facing me, and we'll go ahead and talk about them. Show you guys the patches there real quick. We'll talk about those. We'll talk about why I picked Levi's 510s. Talk about the bottom, the yarn, what the inspiration was and everything, and yeah, just go ahead and go through what made me make these pants. Keep watching, I'll let you guys know, and stick around. Alright, what's up everybody? So we're in front of the window again. Got a little bit of natural lighting. Been noticing in my last videos it's just kind of hard to see what I've been talking about sometimes. It's just been too dark. Yeah, so hopefully this should fix that, and we'll go ahead and start talking about the pants. So you guys know I already showed you the full complete pair, but we'll go ahead and start up at the top. So near at the top, you can see the first patch that I put on here was this. And that was at the point where I didn't even know how to thread the needle. So of course I look up on YouTube some videos, you know, how to thread a needle, you know, how to do it the best way. People are saying to roll it up. I was like, no, it's not gonna work, you know, the way I want it to. And I found across this video that had this girl that was doing it where she wraps it around like 4 or 5 times and pulls it and makes a knot. So I tried that for about 2 or 3 hours until I was able to finally get it down. And after that, I was able to thread the needle and put this very first patch on, which is on very shittily. I didn't get enough thread, so as you can see, I ran out on this patch and I didn't get the left side. It's just the thread lines are so spaced out, and it just looks like shit. Yeah, it's kind of cool to see like how I first started to where I ended up ending on the bottom of the second leg, where they're much better, you know. So we'll go ahead and get there and show you guys what the process was to get there and what we did and everything like that. Moving on down, we have the rest of the patches, and you know, I started on this side, as you can tell probably. It has the more spaced out threads. It just looks a little bit more messy, you know, not as cleanly made, but that's all right. So we move down the leg. As you can see, we've got some circles and squares and triangles and X's and all sorts of things like that. We've got the yarn down here, just a little thing I wanted to add for some flailiness, I guess I want to say. We just got some distressing on the bottom, so I just didn't patch this up near the bottom, but we did patch it up on the back. So when I first made them, I started with just one leg, and I did the front and the back of the left leg, right? So it took me about 4 days to do the first leg. So as you can see down here, we started to do bigger and bigger patches, you know, just to take up more space, things like that and that. But it's completely patched, and that was what I was going for. I was just getting a little impatient whenever I was making the first leg, just because I wanted to have them fully patched. But once I did the first leg and I was satisfied with how they looked, I realized I would take my time a little bit more on the second leg. And that's what I did. Started the second leg about 2 weeks after the first leg. I don't know why it took me so long to go ahead and start working on the second leg, but it was just a lot of intimidation, I guess, whenever you first start, because putting that first patch on is the first thing you need to do to start the repetition and the technique and everything. But putting that first patch on can be pretty intimidating because you could think you're ruining a pair of pants, or it could just be time wasted, stuff like that. Once I had the first leg done, hopefully you're still following me along. When I had the first leg done, it was much easier to go into the second one because I already knew how to thread a needle. I had the experience of sewing on the patches, and I knew about how long it would take to sew the entire leg. 2 weeks go by when I have the half of them done, and then we start on the second leg, right? Second leg, I started on the front as well, and the stitching still isn't very good. It's still kind of spaced out and about X's and stuff, which I kind of like the X stitches, but not everybody does. And you can see they're definitely a lot better, but still they didn't really get good until I got down to the bottom here. And once I got here is when I was really starting to get satisfied. So you can probably tell there's a couple edges and lines that I didn't get patched over. For example, this one right here. And that's really just because whenever you pull out your thread, you want to get about arm span length or wingspan, whatever you want to call it, length. That should usually be enough to get one patch. Sometimes for the bigger patches, I wouldn't be able to get enough of the thread, you know, in there in time for it. But other than that, it was quite a relaxing process, I'll say. It's just knowing that this is going to take 50-40 hours and just accepting that and then moving at that pace. When I first started them, I feel like they looked so shitty because I was in a rush to get the patches on, and I didn't understand that there was really no way around it to stabbing and, you know, pulling the thread through that many times. But it is worth it, and it does look really, really sick. As you can see the back right there, wrapped around some thread on the bottom. Just thought that would look cool. It's got a little split here on the end, just to go over shoes and stuff easier. And yeah, they're definitely rough around the edges. They've got some flaws, they've got some things I could have improved on, but I think the coolest thing about them is knowing that I handmade them, and at first they're just an idea. I haven't seen them around, I hadn't seen anything like it before, and you know, you just make them, and not only do you then have them, but you also made them with, you know, hands. You also just feel a lot more attached to them because of the work you put in and the time it took for you to make it. So my inspiration to make these definitely started from crust punk in the 70s and 80s, whenever, you know, street punks and gutter punks or whatever, they would constantly be burning holes in themselves and ripping holes in their jeans and pants and jackets. And they had dental floss, I'm sure you guys may know, where they would just sew their band patches right on over their holes and stuff like that. So the main inspiration from that is the type of sewing and patch, you know, shapes and styles and stuff like that, such as the squares and rectangles, circles and triangles. And I wanted it to be, instead of band patches and other things like that being the main focus, I wanted it to be more around the stitching and the work and the time that it took to be more in focus. That's why I went with all black patches around the entire legs and everything. And also, you know, patches that have designs or bands or logos on them are just more expensive, or you just have to screen print to make them and things like that. So it's a lot easier to be able to just put black patches on and cut them out from a yard of fabric and just a bunch of different shapes and sizes. So I think there's about 200 patches on these pants, and there's probably about 4 or 5 miles worth of thread that I've put into them. They took around 55 to 60 hours, which is around 8 or 9 days worth of work for about 5 or 6 hours a day. Math may not be correct, but you can go ahead and check that out. Yeah, they came out super sick. I feel like I didn't copy anybody too much, or like the inspiration was just taken from something. It came out exactly how I wanted them to. So we'll go ahead and get into the last part right here, the back pocket where I just sewed on a couple patches. Starting from right here, we have the Misfits Bullet. That is a track from the Misfits that is pretty cool. I actually learned about the JFK assassination more from this song than I did in school. So Rancid patch right here. Rancid's pretty cool. I think they're more like a funk punk type band. You know, they got like some funky surfer stuff, but they're also punk when they need to be. I think my favorite song from them is Time Bomb. And last here we have Death, of course. and they're, you know, just a super iconic metal band, black metal, whatever you want to say, death metal, and they're just super sick. My favorite song from them is probably Painkiller. I just put those on there because they were all matching, you know, got a little bit of red and the black and white, and it was just perfect for it. Of course, we didn't sew the pocket closed. Everything works in these. That was another big part of it. I wanted to have a fully functioning pair of jeans, so it takes a lot of time to sew around the pockets and have them still work and everything. I'll go ahead and show you right here. We can still unbutton them. You know, the zipper works and everything. So they're still a fully functioning pair of pants, but they have been patched from top to bottom. I really don't think I missed a spot anywhere on them. As you can see, we even down to the crotch, boys. Like, we really did it all. So you can see that all the way down to the crotch. I think one of my favorite parts about them is definitely the end of the leg, as you can see right here, where we have this little thread wrapped around, or whatever you want to call it. I just really like that part that I did. That took a little bit of extra time because you just have to keep the thread straight while you're wrapping it around. It's not just stabbing and pulling through. But I think that's my favorite part about them. I also really like the yarn down here. I don't know how I feel about it right now, but I think I'm liking it. It looks cool hanging from your shoes or whatever. Would I say they were worth the time? Yes, I would definitely say they were worth the time that I put into them and all the work that it took. Even though it was a lot of time, not really a lot of resources and materials, you know, jeans were like 40 bucks. It was still worth the time and the effort that I put into it to be able to look at something that I made after I made it or spent all this time on it and have it done in front of me and it exists and everything like that. So it's a really cool feeling that I think everyone should definitely try at least once, you know, whether that's hand sewing or sewing with a machine, anything like that, or just making a pair of clothes. I've been doing it for about 2 or 3 years now, and this was still the first time that I'd ever hand sewn anything or even threaded a needle. You know, as I said earlier, I didn't even know how to thread a needle when I started these. But, you know, you also learn life skills and you get a reward of making something you wanted to make. And yeah, it's just really cool. And it's something to do whenever you're just feeling creative or just have some extra time. And, you know, it should always come out well because you made it. So how could you not like it if you made it yourself? You know what I'm saying? Anyways, guys, I know we didn't have any pickups this time. I think I've only gotten like 1 or 2 new pickups, so I'll just save that for the next video. It's been about 2 weeks from the last upload. I know it's been 9-10 months before that, so never gonna go that long again. We'll be in here every 1 week or 2 weeks, if not more than that. This is about as long as I want to go without uploading a video. And yeah, I just wanted to update you guys, show you this little project I've been working on. Definitely be expecting more pickups coming in the future. I'll do some more how to style videos, or maybe just some more videos where we're talking and, you know, just saying what our favorite brands are, what some new clothing that's coming out recently is. And just let me know what you guys want to see. Of course, I could do anything clothing related or anything designing related. I'm open to all of it. So yeah, definitely let me know, guys. I appreciate everyone for watching this. The pants, definitely hit me up if you're interested in buying them. We could talk about a price or something like that. If not, I'll be perfectly happy with keeping them. They're super sick. And yeah, guys, I'll get back to you hopefully within less than a week and with some new pickups or a new video. But anyways, aside from that, take it easy, guys. Be safe. Have a good one. And I'll see you in the next video.